What's up YouTube, Charmin here coming at you guys with a brand new Star Wars Battlefront video. And today, I want to bring you guys a hero breakdown of my most favorite Imperial hero, and that is Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett is a bounty hunter from the homeworld of Kamino. If you guys have actually watched episode 2, you'll know that he is a clone of Jango Fett, and he was actually made for Jango Fett so that Jango Fett could raise his son, and he had no accelerated growth hormones. Now, Boba Fett is a ranged character. I mean, I can't stress that enough. He's a ranged character. He carries the EE3 blaster, which is one of the best blasters in the game, if not the best blaster in the game, in my opinion. Now, with him being a ranged character, it's very important for you to remember that he's a ranged character. You do not really want to get into close combat with him. He's not very good close in. He has a jetpack for a reason. You need to utilize that. That is one of his main abilities right there, is his jetpack. His jetpack can carry him for very long distances. You can actually stay in flight for a very long time and actually maneuver right and left and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of mobility with that jetpack, so utilize it. Boba Fett is a ranged character, point blank and period, and he should not be trying to be putting him in close combat if you can avoid it at all costs. So that being said, if you're trying to face up against Boba Fett, say in modes like heroes versus villains, you need to make sure as a trooper that you do have a jetpack, because Boba Fett is always, if you're playing him correctly, going to try to post up at high spots, places that it's harder for you to get to him, because the success to Boba Fett, playing Boba Fett, is keeping your enemy at a distance, is keeping him at that range, you know what I'm saying? Now, one of his other abilities that he has is the wrist rocket. The wrist rocket is really good against troopers. You can go ahead and just blow up multiple enemies with it. You can take out troopers with one shot with it. It's really good, but when it comes to dealing damage to heroes, that's where it lacks. It only does about 10 damage to heroes, so it's not very powerful, but what it does do that it's actually really good for with heroes is that lightsabers cannot block it, so it will allow you to basically hit a hero, stun them for a second, without them actually, you know, being able to reflect that bolt back to you if you're actually taking damage. In this mode right here with this heroes versus villains, you'll see that I'm actually going to have to do that at the end to save my own butt. You know, I end up cleaning up the whole floor with all three of these guys, but the key, like I said, is keeping them at distance. Use that jetpack. That is your lifeline, is your jetpack and keeping your enemy at distance. The last ability that he has is the Flamethrower. The Flamethrower is actually really good, surprisingly. If you guys have used it in situations, you may see that it doesn't do much damage, but it actually does do a lot of damage to heroes, and it does a lot of damage to troopers. But again, remember, this is kind of like a last resort thing. If they get close to you, then use it. Do not rely on the Flamethrower. Do not run into combat expecting to go ahead and flamethrow people. It does a lot of damage, yes it does. But Boba Fett is purely a ranged character. You should not be putting him into close combat, because Boba Fett will take a lot of damage very quickly. Especially if he comes up against somebody like Han Solo with that rapid fire, forget about it. You need to keep Boba Fett at a range. So, you know, use tactics. Be very mindful of your surroundings. Do not bring Boba Fett inside. If there is a whole area and everybody's inside, Boba Fett needs to stay outside. You need to keep Boba Fett in an area where he can actually utilize that jetpack. If you are playing game modes and say you're in Hoth and the base is inside one of these caves or inside the Echo base, you do not want to be putting Boba Fett in there personally, because you can't use his jetpack. Every time you get jetpack, you're going to be hitting the ceiling. So jetpacking is, like I said, Boba Fett's lifeline. It'll keep him alive. You can keep yourself at a distance from the enemies and whatnot and take those pop shots and just be very, very tactful. If you're going to go into a hero and you're going to attack them head on, close on, you want to get around them. Be mobile. Be very mindful of being mobile. And another thing that sometimes people have a problem with is they know that the left trigger is the jetpack, so they're like, I can't really scope down with my rifle. Well, you actually can. If you push in on the right stick, then you can scope in with Boba Fett's rifle. But remember that you do have to push it again to scope out. So if you are scoped in and then you jetpack, you're going to stay scoped in until you actually push it down again to get yourself back on that scope out. Anyway, guys, I'm telling you, Boba Fett is really fun. It's just about how you play him. Keep your enemies at range, be mindful of your surroundings, and be very, very sneaky with him. He does take a lot of damage, but he can dish it out too. Anyway, guys, like I said, he's one of my favorite heroes. Let me know what you guys think. If you got a hero that you want me to break down, let me know about it, and I'll be sure to go ahead and make a note of that and get this done for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please feel free to go ahead and slap that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to join the Charmin today. You guys are more than welcome to go ahead and comment below and follow me on my Twitter so you can stay up to date with all my YouTube videos. I'm Charmin, and as always, thanks for watching, and y'all come back now, you hear?